match of choice for today, which is nice. We've definitely seen some crazy games. So, in the bottom left-hand corner of Proxima Station, he's been dominating this clan war all night. He is the red Zerg player. He is Kangaroosack.
Yep, and spawning in the top right, he is God reincarnated in Masters League. Not like Neat League, but the next best thing after Neat, He is the blue Terran player, AngryKimchi. And he's been known by many different alternate IDs. Triggered Kimchi, Malcontent Kimchi, things like this.
But you've never seen him as a happy kimchi.
No, I haven't. I heard rumors, though.
Alrighty, so so far it looks kind of standard. No cheesing so far. Do you have it looks like a hatch first from the Zerg player?
Yes, no SCVs running across the map yet, so this is good.
Yeah. And then it just looks like a standard, should be a Reaper opening here, followed by a fast expansion. Looks like he is going to play standard here, so he's seen, the cheese really hasn't been working for the Terrans tonight, except for like maybe one time, which is alright. So we do have the spawning pool coming in here, so he's going to be able to get some links to defend any kind of pressure that the Terran player may put against him.
What?
That the Terran player may put against him. We do have an additional barracks here, so he's going to be able to have some Marines, some defense here. He may be getting some stim as well, trying to get those upgrades going. So,
and looks like it's just gonna be another barracks, probably an extra factory coming on. So probably gonna be a 16 Marine drop. I'm thinking with the second barracks that quickly, extra gas. But I'm not a Terran or a Zerg, so I really know.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he is going to do that. It's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to follow up with it, whether it be tanks, widow mines. It's going to depend on what he sees here. So he does pressuring. He's kind of poking in, trying to keep the Zerg player on his toes, as well as the Zerg player does kind of scout this, so he can kind of prepare for what's coming, as well as expanding behind this. So.
Yep. And Zerg getting that third base coming up. A Baneling nest coming down here. Is this a pretty normally timed Baneling nest? I feel like it's kind of early.
Yeah. Seeing what's coming, Balings are really good against the 16 Marine held drop. If the Terran player isn't watching, if he's not good at splits, he can definitely counter with that, as well as to go into like a counter push if he is able to defend that. With the Balings, it's good to help kind of get down. It's going to depend on how many Balings he does make. If he tries to go overboard with it, it can be kind of crazy, but it'll just depend. But
yeah, and actually, oh wait, never mind. Sorry, yeah, it is just gonna be a 16 drop, and Zerg is gonna have plenty of Zerglings and Banelings to deal with it. No layer, so there's not gonna be any Baneling speed for a while. So Kimchi's gonna be able to kite those forever. Usually, you just never want to truly engage, pick up whenever it looks even kind of dicey.
Yeah, we do have Stimpack on the way. It looks like the Zerg player is gonna start kind of putting some aggression, trying to attack. So it's going to depend. We do have the medevacs about to finish. He may hold back. Yeah, it looks like he's going to hold back. He's making some Balings here. And he's loaded up, so if he doesn't see this coming, this can be really bad for the Terran player.
Yeah, this is actually a really good counter to this build, because he doesn't have anything at home, really. And all these Banelings are going to smash into his front door. And he's going to have to use his reinforcements to hold the Marines.
He does have the added benefit of having all those buildings right there. But with all those bailings, it's just going to be... He does pull the boys. He's going to try to get some
Yeah,
there.
he has to.
All the same, he's attacking the opponent's base. Looks like he should be able to clean it up at home. But the Terran player still being able to move, still attacking this natural. Looks like he'll get cleaned up. Oh no, he's going to be able to get a few more drones here. He has to pull the drones back. So far, not too bad for the Terran player. He did lose some, and the wall did get broken. But he did get some damage done, and he's still, still in this. He didn't take, terrible losses. He's still ahead in workers to the Zerg player, so not a bad engagement there for the Terran player.
Although the Zerg killed more workers and denied more mining time, I'd still argue that Terran is in a better spot because he's up a worker. He still has mules. He's going to have a 3rd CC done pretty soon. So I'd say overall that gamble from Kangaroosack probably didn't pay off.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. And like I said, a lot of it had to do with all of that building placement in there. He was able to kind of take out a lot of those bailings, so there wasn't as much to contend with at home. And he just had enough SUVs to be able to counteract that. So.
Yeah. I wish I played Terran so my workers were actually good. As Protoss, you pull your workers, they just all die. They can't fight anything.
But they do have fancy shields.
Yeah, but I would rather just have a good unit. Like, when Terrans pull their workers, they pull the boys. But when Protoss pull, it's called you pull the girls. That's what they are. They can't fight. They're just...
That's funny. We do have the 3rd CC for Angry, which is going to be really good to build up more of an economy, as well as additional barracks. So he's going to be able to produce a lot more. You have the drop coming in. He's able to get a little bit, not too much. He's going to have to pull out of there. But that was a good defense there from the Zerg player. But he is able to get more barracks, more production. That way he's not going to be too bad. And he is going to go with the Widow Mine route, which is really nice. It kind of helps you out with your micro, where you're not having to micro so intensively, and be able to get some good hits, hopefully. But it is a double-edged sword with the Widow Mine. So we'll have to see how they decide to act, as well as a Spire coming in. So he's going to go this Bane, Zergling, Muta kind of play. So.
Yep. And I just want to talk about this excellent vision Zerg has around the map with the Overlord scattered everywhere. That's why he's able to shut down these drops so effectively. And his army gets surrounded in the middle of the map, nowhere near enough Marines to contend with these Zerglings. Black Spike.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he's going to be chased all the way back to his base. He's trying to throw down some structures to interfere with the padding of these Zerglings really quickly. He doesn't have a whole lot, so this counterattack could actually be pretty scary. Okay, Widowmine does put in some pretty good work. Gets about 10 kills.
Bailing's able to clear it up, though. Some juicy Bailing hits there. Able to take out a bunch of those SCV workers, so...
yeah, looks like about an extra 14 workers went down there, bringing total dead workers to 27. So Zerg is pulling ahead now, just being able to out-macro AngryKimchi.
Oh, yeah. And the plus now we do have a 4th base here for Kangaroo. So he's definitely going to have the economy to back behind this, and should be getting some mutas here, unless that's just kind of like a decoy or something, or maybe just kind of for later. So
yeah. So a bunch of extra bandlings morphing. He's going to be able to kill this army off pretty easily once they finish. So AngryKimchi is going to load up.
Oh yeah, it's definitely very scary trying to go on to Zerg Creep, especially with all the buffs and everything. So he definitely has to be careful, and especially with those Bailings. They don't have Bailing speed yet, which is a little bit better for the Terran player. It help a little bit, but with all of the Zerglings, it definitely makes it hard to kind of split from this. So
Yep,
But
and here comes the engagement. Zergling's running through. Widowmine's getting decent connections. Baneling's actually lagging in the back, so Marines were able to deal a pretty decent amount of damage. And Zerg's forced to retreat. Baneling's speed only about halfway done, so he's going to be in pretty dire strait if he can't get them to connect.
he's trying to morph in more Bailings here, and it looks like he is going to be able to push this back. Terran player's going to have to regroup and make sure. But it looks like he is going to try to be a little bit aggressive here, try to clean this up. So, do have Liberators coming in, though, so that should help since Bailings and Zerglings can't shoot up.
Nope. He's also trying to start getting ready for the Ultras that are probably eventually coming out, because he hasn't really seen any mutas or anything. So he's probably assuming that the Hive is closer to being done, but he hasn't started it yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's been mainly focusing on these Lings and Bailings. So we do have Bailing speed finished, though, so that's definitely going to help the Zerg player out in these engagements. The splits have been pretty well, though, for the Terran player. But there's just so much here and not enough Terran units that it just keeps getting cleaned up time and time.
Yep, and Zerg is getting pushed all the way back into his main. Looks like going to pull the drones to try to kill this off. But even if he kills it, I feel like this is the beginning of the end here.
Oh, yeah.
And more bio stemming into the third base.
50 Lings coming in.
Up and around.
Got 50 Lings coming in, but there's just too much here.
He let his macro slip for sure. Probably wasn't hitting all his injects correctly. I don't even think he has queens on some of these bases. And he had quite the bank there, whereas AngryKimchi, if you look, is spending like 90% of his money. So, able to roll him over there in the end. Well, if Zerg can get down this ramp somehow and get like the perfect connections, maybe he can kill this off. Because there's a lot of Banelings here.
Oh, yeah. Splits are good. He's able to get some good connections, but just not enough. Able to clean it up, and with all of these Liberators coming in, it's just going to be too hard. And there's the GG. So,
yeah.
AngryKimchi bringing a victory to Risen, not letting it be over yet.